Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Seth Meyers, clinical psychologist. And today I am going to be focusing on the controlling personality. I'm going to be continuing my series of videos that speaks to what some people call the control freak in your life, the highly controlling person who engages in all sorts of really controlling behaviors with you that can be really infuriating and really cause a lot of distress. I'm sure you all know intuitively that you can have someone who is a highly controlling person in a lot of different areas of your life. So, in this video, I'm going to focus specifically on the controlling person in romantic relationships. So, what is it like to be in a romantic relationship, either a dating relationship or even a long term relationship with someone who is what a lot of people would call colloquially a control freak? But really, because that's not a clinical term, it's really a controlling person, a controlling personality. So we're just going to begin. I just want to do a quick heads up. If you find this video helpful to you, please provide that feedback in the comments, or you can like the video. And that way I know that this is an area that is helpful to the audience. All right. So to begin, the controlling personality in a romantic relationship, you guessed it, is often very jealous. They can engage in very jealous behaviors. They can feel very insecure or provoked when you might start spending time with someone that you normally didn't, or if you share that you like somebody, or you even make a positive statement about someone. The controlling person may all of a sudden confuse that to mean that you are planting the seed that you like someone, that you are interested in someone else romantically, that who knows, you could potentially leave the controlling person for that person. The controlling person often has underlying a deep down fear of abandonment, but it's almost like a secret fear of abandonment because a lot of times the controlling person is too guarded and too proud to be honest and admit that feeling, that fear of abandonment. So, one of the ways that the controlling person in a romantic relationship deals with their jealousy, deals with their underlying fear of abandonment, is to become controlling and to try to be able to suss out any possible threats of anyone else coming in to the life of the person that they are in a relationship with and taking them away. Now, a lot of times the controlling personality can also be so jealous that they actually become paranoid. They see all sorts of information, and somehow the sense that they make is that this is proof that the other person is losing interest in them, that the other person is cheating on them, that the other person is maybe having an emotional affair with someone. When an individual is paranoid, they find information that often confirms what they believe in their paranoid thinking, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Now, to the controlling person, it's often important to understand that it feels real, but it's not necessarily true. It feels real to them, but just because something feels real to a person doesn't make it necessarily true. So it's important to remember that jealousy and even paranoia are often two behaviors that go hand in hand with the controlling person in a romantic relationship. Another way that controlling personalities in relationships tend to show control is they may try to control how you dress or what you wear. They will scrutinize the kinds of clothes that you leave the house in. They will also pay incredible attention to your body. They may say things about your body because they want your body to be better or different. They may want you to be thinner, or depending on what they're attracted to, they may want you to gain muscle. But the controlling personality will often even try to control the way that your body appears. One of the main behaviors that a controlling personality often engages in relationships is to try to isolate you. Now, one of the ways that they often do this is they try to limit your social circle, your friends, who you see, who you go out for drinks with, maybe who you go spend time with on the weekends. They will try to limit your social circle. They don't want you to have necessarily too many close relationships or confidants for fear that this person that they're in a relationship with might start telling someone, hey, things at home, things in this relationship, things with this person I'm dating aren't so great. In addition, the isolation doesn't just stop with the social circle. A lot of times, controlling people will often try to limit your closeness with family members. So imagine your parents or your siblings or cousins that you're really close to. A lot of times, the controlling personality will try to say negative things or do things to try to get you to detach somewhat from your family members. This is a really common behavior that often isn't really clear to the individuals at the time. It's not always clear, wait, this is what's happening. They're trying to sever my relationships with family members or make me question my relationships with family members. But it's important to take a step back and see this behavior for what it is. Interrogations are another part of controlling personalities behavior that often causes problems in relationships. A controlling person that you may be in a romantic relationship with may want to know exactly where you were, who you were with. They will ask details that will make you feel like this individual is a police investigator working on a case. You suddenly may feel like you need to defend yourself and prove yourself. You need to let them know there was nothing to worry about. And you then almost have this unsettled feeling that, well, I don't think I've convinced them. So now what does that mean? And it creates a lot of anxiety for you not knowing what they're making of this. So if the controlling person doesn't feel convinced, then you might also feel like, well, what does this mean? Might they leave me? Might they punish me? Any number of things. But really negative things start to happen in a relationship. Relationships really start to deteriorate when this happens, when anyone in a relationship feels interrogated or that they are being asked questions and they are asked to provide details and proof of information in a relationship. One of the most negative behaviors that happens in a relationship with a controlling person has to do with the phone. As a pattern, the controlling person may require that you provide your password to them so that the controlling person has access to your phone, to your text, to your pictures, to your social media accounts. They may want passwords for all sorts of accounts. And they may justify it that you may have done things in the past that make them need to do this, that you need to prove to them your fidelity, your faithfulness, that they can trust you. A lot of times when the phone searches are done, they may do it behind your back. They may have figured out a way to get your password. Now, the truth is, no one in any healthy relationship should be checking anyone's phone. When anyone is engaging in that kind of checking phone behavior, it is a sign either A, that that person has insecurities and doesn't trust and needs a level of control that is unhealthy in the relationship, or that the other person is engaging in behaviors that deep down the person just feels are really uncomfortable and shady and not to be trusted. So either way, there's no good scenario when phone checking in a relationship indicates a positive thing. Another pattern of behavior that the controlling person does in a romantic relationship is they tend to engage in behaviors that overall cause you to feel unsettled or doubting of yourself. These behaviors have a way of chipping away at your self esteem. Chip away, little by little, one thing after another. And a lot of times they're the littlest things and they're very nuanced. It's not a clear cut derogatory remark, or it's not even a clear cut controlling remark. It's just a remark that makes the person who receives it think to themselves, wait, was that weird? Was something about that strange? I can't quite put my finger on it. It's unsettling, but it feels a little off. But one of the effects is to chip away at your confidence, at your self esteem, and even at your ability to trust your own instincts. One specific way that controlling people in relationships can chip away at your self esteem is related to very specific details around your physical appearance. They may focus on your hair color. They may focus on your jewelry, the littlest things they will hyper focus on and make you question, why are you wearing that? Or do you really think that looks good? Or this is one of the most common things. Do you really think that's appropriate? As if all of a sudden this person is the enforcer, the policeman, so to speak, of whatever it is they're talking about. These are just some examples of behaviors that the controlling person engages in a romantic relationship. The list is long. In fact, the list is infinite. I hope that these behaviors, though, and my focusing on them has been helpful for you to start to understand that these behaviors are unhealthy behaviors. Now, what do you do if someone is engaging in these behaviors with you? Of course, one of the best things that anyone can always do for themselves is to talk to a mental health professional. There are lots of services available. I will put some notes in the chat with a resource that you can think about consulting. If you want help in this area, you can talk to trusted friends. There is hope. And one of the best things that you can do, you're already doing now by educating yourself a little bit about the signs and symptoms of a controlling person. I hope this video has been helpful, and I really wish you all the best as you deal with these circumstances.